All right, let's dive into one of nature's most misunderstood and honestly most incredible societies, the world of the spotted hyena. Get ready because pretty much everything you think you know about them is probably about to get turned completely upside down.
You know, when you picture a top predator, your mind probably goes straight to a male lion, right? The whole king of the jungle thing. But what if I told you that Africa's most successful predator isn't a king at all, but a queen? What if her world was one where the females always call the shots? So on one side, you've got the classic lion pride. We all know the structure, led by a dominant male or a few of them. But then you look at the hyena clan, and it just flips that script entirely. We're talking a true matriarchy here. And it's not just the one top female in charge. No. Every single female in the clan, right down to the lowest ranking one, is dominant over every single male. Just let that sink in for a second. This quote from researchers is absolutely mind-blowing. A tiny, 3-week-old female cub, a baby, automatically outranks a battle-hardened 20-year-old male. It's not about size or strength or experience. It's all about your gender and who your mother is. Period. So you've got to be asking, how is a society this radical even possible? Well, the answer starts with some of the most unique and frankly extreme biology you'll find anywhere in the entire animal kingdom. It all begins with their anatomy. The female spotted hyena has what's called a pseudopenis. It's a fully erectile clitoris that's almost identical to the male's organ. And this thing does it all. It's the single canal they use for urination, for mating, and, get this, for giving birth. They are the only mammal on the entire planet where this happens. But that incredible anatomical power comes at a truly awful cost. Imagine giving birth through a canal that narrow. It is unbelievably difficult and dangerous. For a first-time mother, that stillbirth rate is a staggering 60%. It's a biological power that is also a massive gamble. Okay, so what is driving this whole thing? What causes this extreme anatomy and the aggressive behavior that makes female dominance possible? Well, for a long time, the answer seemed pretty obvious. But the truth, as it turns out, is way more fascinating.
This is the first thing everyone thinks, right? Of course, the females are bigger, they're more aggressive, they've got these masculine features, so they must just be swimming in testosterone. It makes perfect sense. Or does it?
And the answer is a huge, resounding no. When scientists actually measured it, they found that adult female hyenas do not have consistently higher testosterone than the males. So whatever is making them dominant, it's not happening because of their hormones as adults. The real secret is right here, before they're even born. Inside the womb, something amazing happens. The placenta starts converting the mother's hormones into androgens. That's the group of hormones that includes testosterone. The developing female fetus gets flooded with them. This prenatal androgen wash essentially masculinizes her from the very start. It literally hardwires her aggressive behavior and anatomy before she ever takes a single breath. So this prenatal blueprint, it's just the beginning. It creates these incredibly dominant individuals, sure, but then they go on to build one of the most complex social systems we know of in carnivores, and it is built entirely on inherited power. The key concept here is something called social inheritance. A hyena cub doesn't just inherit its mother's spot on the social ladder. It actually inherits her friends, her allies. So, who your mom hangs out with determines who you hang out with. And that is a huge advantage that can last for years, cementing your place in the clan. And this whole system of inherited rank means your life plays out in one of two very different ways. If you're a daughter, you inherit mom's status and you stay in the clan for your entire life, making that female power structure even stronger. But if you're a son, you have to leave. You go out on your own and try to join a new clan where you will always start at the absolute bottom of the totem pole, beneath even the youngest female cub. So why? Why would evolution produce such a difficult, risky, and female-centric system? I mean, what could possibly be the advantage of all this? Well, it really all boils down to one absolutely crucial thing: making sure the next generation survives. Think about it like this. Hyena cubs are completely helpless for a long time. They need their mother's milk for up to 2 years and can't even crush bone for themselves until they're almost adults. So, at a chaotic, competitive carcass, a low-ranking mother might get shoved aside, her cubs would starve. But a dominant, aggressive mother, she eats first. Her power directly translates into food, into protection, and ultimately into the survival of her kids. So now that we actually understand how their incredible society works, it is time to tackle the seriously bad reputation that hyenas have had for centuries, a lot of which comes from pop culture, let's be honest.
Let's just set the record straight, shall we? Myth number 1, they're cowardly scavengers. The reality? They are Africa's most successful predators, hunting somewhere between 60 and 95% of their own food. Next myth, they're dim-witted and greedy. No. The reality is they have social intelligence that actually rivals that of primates. And what about that old story that they're always stealing kills from lions? It is far more likely to happen the other way around.
The spotted hyena isn't a villain. She's not a punchline. She is a dedicated mother, a brilliant strategist, and the absolute ruler of a complex world that challenges everything we think we know about power. So maybe it's time we stop seeing them as second best to some king and finally start recognizing them as the queens they truly are.